Gemini, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do your reading for the week of April 22nd through the 28th. We're going to take a look at your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future today, as well as some guidance from a few oracle decks. Let's get started. Thank you for tuning in, for sharing this space with me today, and thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading. Thank you for your guidance. All right, Gemini. This is the Raise Your Vibration. Ooh, so take the top two. Raise Your Vibration Oracle by Kyle Gray. I have them over here if you're curious about getting it for yourself. I am grateful for the earth. I lovingly accept myself. Interesting. I just shuffled that a lot. And this is similar to, I know that Libra got the lovingly accept myself. It might be a theme this week for the air signs. Accept yourself no matter what. No matter what other people think of you. No matter what other people expect of you, can you lovingly accept you? Big message for the week for the air signs. And also being grateful for the ground beneath your feet. I actually recently watched 1883 for all of you Yellowstone fans, and I really started to marvel at like the journey that the collective has been on and where we've all come from. The pioneering spirits. I live in America, and just when you think of what the earth was like 200 years ago and what it could be like 200 years from now. We're going to be the very bedrock, our existence, even our very, cells. Everything returns back to the earth, right? Man, the earth is just this incredible being, isn't it? I marvel at the beauty of the earth. If you need to feel uplifted, go outside and just start thinking about the presence that nature provides in all things. Just trees are present. I mean, we rely so much on these things around us for our sustenance. And I could wax poetic about nature for hours, so I'm going to stop talking. But I think a lot of you know what I mean. It's the source of life. What do we do without fruits, vegetables? Everything that we have, the earth provides. So having deep reverence for that, Gemini. I don't know if you're traveling and you're seeing different parts of the country that you're in. There's this feeling of gratitude that I'm feeling for the week for you. All right, let's go into your past, present, and future. Get a few shuffles here. Ooh, Ten of Pentacles. Talk about earth, feeling successful. This is success, massive success in the earthly realm. And Geminis, I know you all have been working on a lot of projects. A lot of you people who are artists really opening up and expanding, stepping into an increase in resources, what you hold dear, what is valuable to you. Ten of Pentacles is this feeling of I have everything I need. I have everything I need and more. It feels like you're really expressing gratitude this week. I'm going to do something a little different than I did for Libra. I just pulled one card for each category. I'm going to pull three for your recent past. We're not going to clarify everything. We don't have time for that, but I just want to get a little bit of a better gauge for you. Knight of Swords, Ace of Cups, and the Strength for your recent past. I'll pull this down so you can see. Recent past. You know what? We're going to pull it over here since we have the width. I don't often do that, but that might be easier. Recent past, you were led and guided to really, really show up in a feeling of love, opening your heart to this feeling inside. It takes great courage and strength to live with an open heart, no matter what, especially if someone's coming at you. You're being led and guided by a state of love in the past. Let's see how it translates in the present. You want to hold on to that feeling. Like, oh, I like this feeling. I want to hold on to this feeling of openness, right? When we let source energy, I was talking to Libra about this. When you let source energy pour through you, you have a greater access to love at all times. When you feel the love of the spirit move through you. And I'm not even talking about from a religious point of view. I'm talking about just going outside. Isn't it not the birds rejoicing every day in the glory of the day. Presently, I think you're making some important decisions, and a lot of people are doing this. I love seeing this because people are really working, taking their work, their healing work seriously. You're taking it so seriously, you're questioning whether, am I healing? How do I know I'm healing? Am I doing the right things to heal? You know, healing is not something that you have to mentally overtax yourself around. Really, just feeling is healing. And I'm seeing here in the recent past, you were really opening up your heart and having the courage to do so, no matter what was going on around you. You're pulling your energy back a little bit currently because you're making an important decision, but you want to do it from a place of, I'm rejuvenating my energy, I'm restful. It's like you don't want to make a decision in a hasty way or without really the consideration of coming from the right place. Oof, beautiful. You also are really deeply considering what you want to invest in. You're holding on to some sort of healing capacity around your decisions. So I want to be careful, Jenna, around what I'm choosing, what I'm selecting. I'm going to pull my energy back just to rest for a minute, and then I'm going to decide. You're making an important decision. You're doing the work to actually pull back to make sure that you're coming from the right place. Wow. Told me to shuffle here for the future. I don't know why. Normally I just go straight out. The future. 3 of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Page of Pentacles. You could be celebrating, getting together with family, friends this week. It's really informing you at the depth of your being, like your core values. The Hierophant is everything that we're committed to from a spiritual perspective. There's something around being around other people that's going to remind you of who you are on even a deeper level. There's this generosity of giving and receiving from your community this week. And it's like really, really helping you, guiding you, informing you, reinforcing your beliefs. You could be really creating more community, and it's making you feel part of the whole. And it feels really good. Really, really good. All right. Overall general energy for the week. Judgment. You are making this important decision. We're going to clarify that in a minute. And then the hidden truth. 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. This is also the I've been getting off of this card, a surrendering of the ego. You could be really stepping aside, and that might be what you're trying to do here with the current energy of just surrendering the ego, opening up your heart, celebrating with like-minded people, reinforcing your values. Something around coming together and really celebrating, feeling good. This is going to be a good week, Gemini. A wholeheartedly heart-opening, healing, life-affirming, belief-affirming week. Why is the Judgment here, is the question. Something that the angelic realm is whispering in your ear around your decision to choose happy. I think that you've had a period of reflection lately around the things that have made you sad, and I don't even think it's individual. I've been getting this energy of Gemini where they're carrying a lot of the grief that the world is going through right now. You can feel it. You can sit there and be like, because a lot of people are afraid right now, and they're filled with grief over the state of the world. There's always hope. There's always hope. And I think, Gemini, you all have so much faith. You're being led and guided by this open-hearted sense of faith. There's this faith resounding through this. Just keep the faith, keep the faith. You could even be telling people around you, just keep the faith. You have such a positive vibe going. What is this Judgment? For the overall general energy, why is that here? Overall Judgment. King of Cups. Ooh. Oh, wow. What a peaceful, beautiful energy. Wow. You're lingering in, I feel like the universe, the angelic realm, God, source energy is gifting you with this beautiful vibration this week. And it's a feeling of loving acceptance, of peace, of true surrender. Wow. Gemini, you're showing me this really beautiful depth this week in how you feel. King of Cups is this feeling of no matter what's going on around you, you're calm. You're letting the forces of love guide you to be open and to enjoy life. See, I mean, I had a beautiful conversation with my neighbor yesterday who's older and widowed, and she's just this beautiful soul. And we were just talking about how we just, well, the sun's been shining here, which it hasn't been. I don't know where you live in the world, but lately it seems like there's been a lot of gloom in the air and rain and not as much light. And when the light comes out, you're like, oh, hallelujah, you know? And this is like that whole hallelujah within around feeling at peace. There's something around peace because this is making peace with the ego here, upright. Holding on, hugging your wild nature, right? Being at peace, lovingly accepting self. This is in a place of resistance, right? Letting the ego fight. It's like you're truly surrendering to this open-hearted feeling. I hope I did that right. She's hugging the wolf and it came out upright. Hugging that wild nature within her, loving every aspect of her being or his being. I think that you've got a fated golden opportunity arriving that's going to light up your heart space and make you feel so at peace. And it could just be an experience, a new memory being made this week, a knowing. Let's look at this Ace of Cups in the past. Why did your heart open? Oh, because you were releasing, you were shedding old layers. Old layers of grief. You could be coming out of a state of grief, Gemini, going closer. You've gained a new level of dream fulfillment, wish fulfillment, and inner strength, inner beauty around releasing something that was covering up your heart space so you couldn't quite feel for a while the depth that you wanted. We have 2 strength cards. Leo energy, talking about that sun vibe, taming, ego taming. Sometimes we go through these periods where we feel low and then we just bounce so high. I'm seeing this huge leap that you took from going from a low place to a very high place. And I don't think anything necessarily happened to you externally. You took action, but it was an inward journey towards you realizing how strong you are and how capable you are of being a loving human being. Despite whatever you're going through, right? You could be sad, you could be holding that in. We all are suffering on some level, but it's like no matter where your suffering lies within, you still show so much love to other people. And that's your source of strength. What you give to others, you give back to yourself. I feel like you're learning how to do that, to balance that. This is a beautiful energy for the week where you're just being led and guided to love in a deeper capacity. And while you have this vision of almost like, this feels like a vision of world peace, a vision of peace on earth. And you're holding that vibration this week. Grounded in the earth, lovingly accepting yourself, Gemini. This is profound. There's something profound going on within the collective this week. I don't know what it is, but the readings are so different. We're shedding exterior layers of conditioning and programming. And it's hard work, y'all. It's hard work to shed grief, to shed self-doubt, to shed insecurities, and do the work to heal. It opens you up. You can pour more into other cups that way. You have more energy. What's the 7 of Cups in the current energy? Oh, you're healing from something that has ended. Yeah, you're wrapping up a cycle. No wonder the energy is so profound. A lot of you are wrapping up a cycle and you're taking bold, determined leadership, compassionate leadership action from a place of going within. Some of you are ending one job to launch independently. Being a leader requires little ego deaths where you actually are humbled and you never let your ego get out of control. Those of you who are stepping up into stronger leadership roles, there's a humility coming forward where you're like, I don't want to be operated by my ego. Yeah, I've reached a certain level of success, but I'm not going to be boastful about it. I'm humbled by what I've created, and I'm making appropriate decisions. Some of you have had a recent ending around the heart, and you've been grieving that heavily, and you were opening up, and you're taking a new route towards a new interest. A King of Wands, someone at fire think you're bringing in more passion, more desire, more enthusiasm. Something's lighting you up. You've gone through this deep healing phase. Whether you're lighting up in your work life or lighting up in your love life, you are definitely feeling renewed energy. Renewed energy, I think, after a period of receding a bit, sitting on the sidelines. It's like you've been you've been benched by the universe, and while you were on that bench, you did a lot of healing work, and now you're like, I'm ready to go back in the game. Give me the ball. Let's go. I love seeing this, and you're coming from this beautiful place of knowing that whatever is coming towards you, whatever you're waiting on next, whatever you're trying to manifest next, you're doing it from this beautiful inner peace vibe. All right. I want to clarify the Nine of Cups. I do believe that you're going to be celebrating something important this week. I don't know what is going on. You're going to be around people who are going to make you feel really, really good. You could be just getting together socially with people, and it's just it's so life affirming when you're around people who love you and support you and see the true you, and they value you, and then they remind you of, yeah, I'm pretty great. I'm pretty great. I'm coming out of something heavy, and the energy's lightening up. You could have a new love offer coming towards you. Could be friends, but you kind of feel like something more could be happening here. Feeling good and positive. Yes, you are. You're coming out of a period. The hidden truth here is that you've learned how to make yourself happy after a period of feeling like things weren't going your way. You know, and sometimes, you know, when one door closes, all these other doors open inside. You know, it's like what we think we want. If we don't get it, we have to reorient and remind ourselves that we are the answer. We are the truth. We are the way. There's so much that I think the collective is starting to discover within themselves. When we reach for external satisfaction and it falls short, it reminds us to go back inward and go, well, oh, I can find that here. I can find it in my heart. I can find it in my friendships. I can find it in the love for humanity. I can find it in a cup of tea. You know, it's like everywhere we have these little offerings, right, of love from spirit. Whether you hear a bird singing in the morning when you wake up, or you look at the moon and gaze at the moon at night, I think the earth is your great source of contentment, of tranquility. And you're showing me that, you know what, there's going to be periods where I'm going to be disappointed, where I might not get what I want, but I'm going to be happy regardless, because the sun too shall always rise eventually. It's like you have this beautiful positive energy, Gemini. And I do believe that you were realizing that you are your great source of you to nurture yourself is something that's like it's a new directive. You're nurturing yourself in powerful ways, and it's allowing you to be more at peace. More at peace. Let's get some advice from spirit. I'm feeling you're just more at peace this week, coming into a beautiful place of balance mentally. If you've had to wrestle with a recent loss, a recent disappointment, or things not panning out financially in a certain situation, things are shifting because you've done a lot of healing work. And what I mean by healing work is self-love, self-acceptance, knowing that, all right, well, that didn't work out, but I trust myself to make the best decisions moving forward. I have the right people around me that support me through whatever adversity I weather. I'm going to learn and grow. And at the end of the day, I have a lot of love in my life, and I have a lot of love yet to give. Gemini. The air signs are going through a very beautiful, heart-opening week. The Hermit, yeah. The advice from Spirit, the Hermit, the Hangman, and the Four of Pentacles. This current energy you're in, where you're pausing and you're resting, is very important. I mean, this is the card of absolute. I might be uncomfortable having to go within and be more solitary, but this retreat, this withdrawal, is actually allowing it's almost like you're resetting the chessboard, and you're actually upgrading to a new frequency where the people might be the same, but everyone's in a different position, and you are in a different place. So you're realizing that the more you go within, the more you work on your own enlightenment, the more you come to terms and be at peace with any adversity that you've gone through recently, you're showing me that you're not going to be guided as much by fear of something ending around making the wrong choices, because you have self-trust and you're now being guided in a new cycle to take the lead and to go towards things. Like I said, you're ready to get back in there. Whether you're going back out there and you're dating, or you're going back out there and you've got a new zest for your career and what you're trying to produce, or you're just simply going out and you're connecting with people at a deeper level. There's some sort of like rejuvenating energy hitting you this week that I think is going to compel you to actually take a pause and just realize, well, I actually did this. I got to this beautiful pocket of energy inside, and now I'm taking that out into the world. It's like, hold on to your learnings around self-love and self-acceptance, because that is actually the juice that is driving this change towards happiness and greater fulfillment, but mostly, beautifully, a state of inner peace. Knowing that and trusting that whatever you're still seeking outside, it's going to come when it comes. You're truly surrendering in the most profound way, Gemini. Truly surrendering. I had a hard time with your reading this morning. It just felt like there was a lot of stuck energy. And that's what you've been moving through, these blocks that are inside that keep you from lovingly accepting yourself and actually like connecting deeply with existence, with the universe, with the totality of your human experience. It's almost like there's this new layer that's happening to the collective. And this new layer, it's a higher light octave of energy. And there are people that are feeling that enter now. There's a sensitivity, I think, that you're going to start feeling this outer ring. It's a new ring of light. And I think it came from the eclipses. And this rare conjunction that's coming up on the 20th. And I can't speak on it that much. I can't remember the planets, but I do know that it's something that's so rare that's occurring in the skies. But I think it's not just that. It's all of it, Gemini. We're all being greatly influenced by changing energies in the cosmos. And out of that, we are changing. We are evolving. And you are evolving in your consciousness and your awareness of the fearful states you get into around things ending, around loss, but also being guided. Like, you only have this one life, Gemini, and I do believe that you're making the most of it. You're getting out there again. You're making new connections. You're opening up your heart, and it's feeling so good because you're participating. I think you took a time out, and I think you're coming out of this period of withdrawal because you had some deep healing work to do. And now it's like, okay, I'm done hibernating. I'm getting out there, and I'm going to interact with the world. And I'm going to feel so happy and satisfied. And I'm going to look now at, not at what is lost, because I didn't lose anything. You may have lost your sense of self for a little while because something didn't work out in your life. But now you've reconnected those parts. And now it's a deeper connection now within you. And I think moving forward, you're going to have that. You're going to be able to tap into that whenever you need it. I hope I'm making sense. It's been a very, very esoteric reading style for the week. I don't know why, but people are going to this outer layer, this outer ring of enlightenment. And then they're bringing that outer ring and bringing it into their core being. And that's rippling out into everything that you're doing. But we're being guided on an inward journey of truly evolving. And it's starting to really take root in people. And I love seeing it. Let's get some guidance from the untethered soul, Gemini. Untethered soul. What is the guidance here from the untethered soul? It's going to be a happy week. Happy week. Would you like to go beyond yourself? Would you like to feel no edges? Yeah, I think that we can all get into depressive states, but this is the thing. People say, and I'm not knocking it at all, we all get these diagnoses, right? And then it gives you this fixed perspective. But from a deeper spiritual truth, we are not whatever that label is. We are whole and complete. We are here for a short while, putting on these costumes that we call a body. But we are light beings. And I think what you're realizing is, if I transcend my limited view of myself based on my past history, my conditioning, whatever diagnosis, physical, mental, you are whole and complete. And I think you're recognizing that this week. And the edge is where we start putting limitations on ourselves and our capacity to evolve. And what I'm seeing here is that you're going beyond who you believe yourself to be based on the programming that you encounter here. So let's say, when we say I am depressed, I have definitely gone through in my past a period of depression. I've never been clinically diagnosed with depression. And I understand that these states we can get into for quite some time. It's hard with them, and I'm touching on this. It might be controversial, but when we get diagnosed with these conditions, then you have this self-perception of being stuck there. And here's the thing. We move through these states of being always. So you can say, I am depressed. How about saying, I am feeling depressed? Or I am, whatever label that you feel that confines you. Because you can feel these states and feel your way through them. I don't want anyone to feel bad about where they're at in their bodies or in their minds. But when we slap a label on it in our society, there are so many judgments around that. Self-judgments. So just know you came in here as a whole, complete soul. And you might be in a body that has limitations. You might be in a mind that has challenges. But you are not that. You are not depression. You are not whatever it is. It's this turning, right, of your understanding of these labels. Because when this is a good example. You go out and you look at a tree. When a child looks at a tree and they don't know what that tree is, they marvel at the tree. And then then we say, oh, well, that's an oak tree. But you kind of lose the essence of something once you put a label on it. We identify all of these things. We want to put everything in these boxes and labels. And then we think, well, that's fixed. That will always be an oak tree. Can you just appreciate the essence of that tree without putting a label on it? A child does this, but then we're programmed to put everything in these labels. I'm getting really out there, I'm sorry. But this is what he means by going beyond the limited mind, the view of yourself, with the labels we put on yourselves. We can do this with our race, our sexuality, our gender, everything that classifies our world. At the end of the day, we're souls. That's what we are. And then we pile on all this other stuff. So how about you go beyond that? And I think that's what you're doing. You're going beyond whatever your self-perception is that's kept you fixed in a downward state of feeling less than. Accepting self is accepting who you truly are. And not being defined by all of these labels and classifications. And, there's a freedom in that. I hope I'm making myself clear. I feel like I'm going on way tangents this week. There's something esoterically, something mystical going on in the frequencies of this week. So I don't know if I'm going to be reading like this following this week for what I'm reading for, because it's just the week. We're all getting more enlightened this week around the ways we limit our perceptions of ourselves and of the world. This outer ring is changing everything. And it really is. It's a light code. It's a light frequency of going beyond the limited self. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Take care, Gemini.